Hey guys, welcome in this new video. I hope that all of you are doing great. So in today's video, we are continuing on the trade breakdown series with a trade that I took on USD yen and that I closed earlier today. So before we start, as always, if you could just please leave a like under the video, I would truly appreciate it and that would mean a lot. But anyway, so what we are taking a look at today is a trade that I took on USD yen about 2-3 days ago, earlier this week basically, and that I actually closed today with a good profits. So here is the trade and the profit that I posted on my Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, make sure you do that just right here. But basically that trade was a short-term trade. I had no long-term view of that trade, so I just took a short-term setup, and well, it actually ended up as a short-term trade since this is what I was expecting. So in that video I will show you everything about it, so the analysis, my entry, my stop, my target. As always, I will try to give you guys as much information as possible. If you would like to know more about trading, work with me directly, join our group and all of those things, just make sure that you check out the first link in the description box below, and it will bring you over to my website, which is where that you will find all the information about my trading course and how you can join us. Alright, so enough talking, let's jump on my chart and take a look at this trade. Okay, so we are now on my chart. Let's take a look at this USDN trade that ended up as a good trade. I made 1.7% growth of my trading account with that one. So first of all, as always, let me show you guys the higher picture and the overall view that I have right now on USDN. So let's go on the daily. So on the daily chart, what we have now is an incomplete pattern, because we have we are probably in the second wave, and that means that eventually we could see some more downside here to complete this pattern. Now the big question always remains the same in that type of situation: what and how the market is going to develop to make what pattern. That's basically what we want to know, and it's a really hard question to answer when the pattern is actually in the making, because there are so many patterns that the market could make. So when the pattern is in the making like that on, for example, the daily, well, I will personally always just take, short-term trades, because since there are so many possibilities on the long term, it becomes way more tricky to actually trade it that way. So anyway, let's go now on the lower time frame and show you what I was looking for. So here, like I said, we have our first wave. All of this is probably still in the second wave in the making, but what we saw is that we had this first down move. We had this 1, 2, 3 possibility here. Now I knew that this was not a 1, 2, 3 in itself correction and then go back down, which is why I was looking for a short-term trade for at least this one more wave down. And as it stands right now, this wave may actually be over and we may start to see more upside. It depends on how it goes, but it's a possibility. So to come back to the trade, and now let me show you the entry, the stop, the target, and all of those things. So let's go on the 1 hour. So 1 hour, when the market opened this week, we were around those levels, and like I said, well, I was already expecting this one more downside at least, which is why I was looking for a sell setup. So we had this impulse, we got this correction, we broke out here, we made another correction, and when we broke out of here, I just took the trade basically when my setup confirmed that it was going down. So that was for the entry. The stop, as you can see, was right here. It was above the last small correction that we had. There were other possibilities of where to put the stop. I could have put it here or even here. We had many possibilities. I chose this one for many reasons. As you guys know, I cannot go into details in those videos, because normally that type of analysis and explanations are reserved for my students, and I'm doing that type of videos only to help the people who can't afford my course, but obviously I need to keep certain things for my students. So anyway, that was my entry, that was my stop, and my target was way above well, under here basically, around this low we had this nice fib level. I had, other possibilities lower, but this was the most realistic possibility. And as always, well, I knew that it could stop before, because this in itself, as I was saying before, out of this could already be a pattern and we could start seeing more upside. That's one possibility that we have right now. So the trade actually went pretty well. When I took the trade, well, it immediately dropped and went very aggressive after. I quickly got into deep profits when we were around these levels, but I actually did not close the trade around these levels. Now, that is the big question, and that's also the reason why I'm making this video, because I could have made more money with that trade than what I actually made. And if you guys remember the first trade breakdown video that I did, well, I was talking about the fact that I did not want to only show my best trades and my big wins and all of those things. No, I want to be transparent with you guys and share even the trades that were either losses or break-even trades, or trades that could have been better, and all of those things, which is why also I'm doing this video today, to show you that yeah, sometimes there are better decisions that I could have made, or that the trade in itself did not ended up as great as it could have been. And that is the reality of trading, which is why and that is what I want to show on my channel, the truth basically. So anyway, let's come back to the chart. So when we were right here, we were in the profits, and then after we made this reversal here. Now I waited a little bit to take my profits, because when we were around those levels and even around here, we had still the possibility of, for example, this being a correction in itself and then more downside. So I did not want to close my trade here, because we still had the possibility for more downside. And in that situation, I would have made much more money. And according to my trading plan, this is how I am supposed to take and handle that type of situations. So after that, well, this morning we had this impulse, we had this little correction here. So when we broke out of the correction, I simply cut my trade there. So as I said, well, I could have made much more money than what I actually made, but that's the beauty of trading, right? Sometimes you may, you can make so much money and you end up just making some money because it reversed, and it's part of the game. As I was saying before, we knew that we had this possibility here of this being all the correction and already going upside. Now keep in mind that this possibility is only one of them. There are many other possibilities. Someone asked me earlier if this could actually come back down and actually reach my targets. The answer is yes, it's possible, right? But as it stands right now, I don't have any sell setup, which is why I also took out my trade. So that was pretty much it for the analysis and the explanation of USDM. So we saw the overall view of the market. We saw my entry, my stop, my target, the reason why I took the trade, and also the reasons why I closed the trade. So that was the trade breakdown for the USDM trade. So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching once again. I hope that you like it and that it helped you. If it did, please share it around you with your friends and other traders, because it may also help them, right? So thank you for watching. Take care, trade with care, manage your money well, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.